That's cute. See, most people walk around with that same look in their eyes, like they've figured life out because they read a couple books, got a few compliments, maybe pulled off some shallow win that made them feel superior for 5 seconds. But real intelligence, real control, it don't come from proving you're the smartest in the room. It comes from making the entire room believe you ain't even playing, while they're out there screaming to be noticed, fighting for credit, dying to be heard. I sit back, say nothing, and move everything. Because when you're truly smart, you don't argue. You don't flex. You just make silent decisions that flip the entire game. You let them run in circles. You feed their egos, stroke their pride, let them talk themselves into a corner, and right before they realize it was never their game to begin with, checkmate. You didn't outfight them. You outweighted them. That's the difference. They chase recognition. I chase control. They need the spotlight. I am the light, but I don't need to be seen. Because power ain't loud, it's surgical. And when you truly understand that, you stop moving emotionally. You stop explaining yourself. You stop showing your hand just to prove you got one. Why? Because smart people don't play games. They build them. And while everyone else is busy trying to be understood, I'm designing a world where their understanding no longer matters. That's why I win. Not because I'm the strongest, not because I'm the loudest, but because I mastered the art of silence and turned it into a weapon. You know what separates the ones who rise from the ones who rot? It ain't talent. It ain't strength. It's discipline in disguise. Everyone wants to outshine. I wanted to outlast. They want praise for a spark. I became the flame that never dies. See, I didn't need to scream, "I'm a genius." That's amateur behavior. That's what the insecure do. They need recognition to feel alive. I don't. You can call me whatever you want. Villain, traitor, monster. I've been called worse by weaker minds. But deep down they know. I didn't lose control. I became it. I built my empire off one principle. Let them underestimate you. Let them think they've figured you out. Let them feel safe, feel superior, feel like you're just another background character in their shallow little story. Because people lower their guard when they think you're harmless. And that's where the fun begins. I didn't manipulate them by force. I let them manipulate themselves. I didn't climb some ladder. I burned it down and walked through the smoke alone. You want to know how real control works? It's not about overpowering. It's about preparation so surgical that by the time they react, it's already over. Their perception was a weapon I crafted with care. I gave them the illusion of safety, of order, of understanding. I made them feel like they knew the rules, while I rewrote them beneath their fee. That's the art. That's what genius looks like. Not in chaos, but in the calm before it. In every moment you could have said something, and didn't. In every reaction you withheld, every smile you faked, every silence that screamed louder than 1,000 words. Because silence? Silence is sacred. It's the weapon no one expects until it's too late. And look, I know this probably hurts to hear. You wanted power, right? You wanted to be like me? But here you are, still stuck needing validation, still flinching when people doubt you, still showing your cards just so they'll clap for you. You think being smart is about out-talking people? Number. It's about patience. It's about letting the fool speak first. It's about letting the room expose itself before you decide whether it's even worth your time. You think you want control, but you can't even control your emotions. That's why you'll never be like me. Until you learn how to smile while they disrespect you. Until you can sit in silence and watch chaos unfold without blinking. Until you can walk away from noise without needing to defend your name. You're not ready. You want dominance? Then you gotta be willing to be hated in silence. You gotta let your victories echo after you've left the room. That's how legends are made. See, I didn't ask for a throne. I became so dangerous that the world gave me one just to contain me. And even then, it wasn't enough. Because you can lock up the body, but a mind like mine, it's already 10 moves ahead. So if you really want to be smart, then stop trying to prove you're right. Start moving like you've already won. Because the world doesn't need to know you're brilliant. It just needs to realize, too late, that it was your game all along. Let me tell you something they'll never admit. Most people aren't afraid of being powerless. They're afraid of being truly free. Because freedom, that means you take full control. No excuses, no one to blame, no safety net. And people love the idea of power until they realize it means burning the bridges they used to cry on. They say they want the truth, but the second it stops flattering them, they fold. They want reality edited. They want comfort dressed up as confidence. That's why most of them follow. Not because they believe, but because thinking for themselves terrifies them. I never needed followers. I needed silence. Silence to build. Silence to observe. Silence to plant the seeds of something they weren't smart enough to see growing. You know why I stayed quiet while they barked? Because dogs bark at what they don't understand. And kings don't explain. The game they're playing is surface level. Influence, status, fake power that crumbles the second the crowd stops clapping. But me? I built from the shadows, quietly, cleanly. And when it was time, I didn't ask for attention. I took it. Because the world doesn't belong to the loud. It belongs to the few who understand what's really going on behind the curtain. Most of you are too busy reacting to see the strings being pulled. You're emotional? Good. That makes you predictable. You're loud? That makes you a target. You're desperate to be liked? That makes you weak. But if you can learn to watch, just watch, without needing to be seen. If you can stay patient when everything inside you wants to lash out. If you can remain calm when others need chaos to feel alive, then maybe, you've got a shot at real power. Not the kind they post about. Not the kind they sell you. The kind that shifts entire systems while you say nothing. I didn't break the rules. I became the exception to them. Because power doesn't follow tradition. It rewrites it. And the most dangerous man in the room? He ain't the one screaming. He's the one watching, smirking. Already gone before you noticed what was missing. So if you're still trying to be seen, you've already lost. True control begins the moment you realize you don't need their permission to become untouchable. You still chasing validation, still dying for people to understand you.